The Deep Space Monitoring Station Hawking 7 drifted silently at the edge of human space, its sensors constantly scanning the vast darkness between stars. Inside the station's main control room, Monitor Officer Tom Reed was about to finish another uneventful 12-hour shift when every screen suddenly lit up with urgent alerts. "What in the world?" he muttered, his fingers flying across the holographic display. The incoming signal was unlike anything he had seen in his 15 years of service. It wasn't the usual background noise of dying stars or the regular chatter of human ships. This was different. The signal pulsed with a pattern that matched the universal distress protocols established by the Galactic Council. But there was something else, a depth of desperation in its modulation that made Tom's skin crawl. He immediately activated the station's priority channel to Earth Command. "Earth Command, this is Hawking 7. We're picking up a Priority 1 distress signal from the Luminary sector. Transmitting data now." The response was immediate. "Hawking 7, maintain monitoring. Routing call to Admiral Wilson." Within minutes, the main screen flickered to life, showing the elegant, crystalline form of Ambassador Lightbearer, the luminary representative to Earth. Their translucent body glowed with dim, pulsing colors that human xenobiologists had learned to recognize as signs of extreme distress. "People of Earth," the ambassador's voice wavered, their universal translator struggling to convey the emotion in their harmonics. "We need your help. The swarm has returned." The control room fell silent. Everyone knew about the swarm, a species that moved through space like locusts, consuming everything in their path. Until now, they had been considered just another horror story from the Outer Rim. "3 of our outer colonies have already gone dark," Lightbearer continued. "New dawn will be next." The Galactic Council. Their light dimmed momentarily. "They debate while our people die. But we have watched your species. We know what you can do." Admiral Wilson's voice came through, firm and clear. "Ambassador, you understand what you're asking. Human military intervention would violate several Council protocols." "Admiral," Lightbearer's voice carried a hint of desperation now, "the Council calls your world a death world, and your people dangerous. They fear the strength that let you survive on a planet that would kill most species. We are asking for that strength now. My people, we are peaceful. We never needed to evolve natural defenses. But you come from a world that tried to kill you every day, and you thrived." Tom watched as tactical data began streaming across his screens. The Luminary were sending everything: fleet positions, colony locations, known swarm movements. Their trust was complete and desperate. Admiral Wilson was silent for a long moment. "Ambassador, how many civilians are on New Dawn?" 3 million, Lightbearer replied. "Mostly families. Scientists, artists. They cannot fight." "Admiral, they cannot even survive the accelerations your ships consider normal." "And the Council's response time?" "At their current rate of deliberation, 2 weeks. New Dawn will be gone in 3 days." Admiral Wilson's voice hardened. "Tom wrote all this data to Fleet Command. Ambassador Lightbearer, I need you to understand something. If we do this, we do it our way. Human ships, human tactics, no Council oversight." The luminary ambassador's glow brightened. "Admiral, right now the swarm is burning my people alive to feed their larvae. Do whatever you must." "Very well." Admiral Wilson's tone was grim. "Ambassador, inform New Dawn. Tell them to look for the 7th battle group. Call sign: Reapers." As Tom processed the flood of incoming data, he noticed something interesting in the swarm's attack pattern. They were moving carefully, methodically, like predators that had never faced serious resistance. They had never encountered a species that evolved on a death world. That was about to change. The last thing Tom saw before his shift ended was the deployment order. All ships of the 7th Battle Group, immediate launch authorization. The Reapers were hunting. In the vast darkness of space, humanity's most powerful warships began to move. They had been built by a species that learned warfare on a planet where everything was trying to kill them. Now they would show the galaxy exactly what that meant. The response to the luminary distress call was on its way, and it was bringing with it the full might of a Deathworld species that had turned survival into an art form. The massive hangar of Luna Base 1 buzzed with activity as Admiral Mark Stone strode through rows of technicians preparing ships for battle. His heavy boots, designed for Earth's gravity, clanked against the metal floor. Even after 20 years in space, he still carried himself like someone used to fighting higher gravity every day. "Status report," he barked, entering the bridge of his flagship, the HMS Apex. The bridge crew, all veterans of multiple space battles, snapped to attention. "All ships report ready, sir." First Officer Lisa West responded, her scared face evidence of past battles. "The Reapers are armed and waiting for your command." Stone nodded, studying the tactical display. The 7th Battle Group, 4 of humanity's deadliest warships, floated in formation. Each ship was named after Earth's apex predators: HMS Thunder, HMS Lion, HMS Eagle, and his own flagship, HMS Apex. "Show me the enemy positions again," he ordered. The holographic display lit up, showing the swarm's approach to New Dawn. The alien ships moved in a pattern that seemed random at first glance, but Stone saw the hunting formation in it. He had seen similar patterns in wolf packs back on Earth. "They think they're the predators," he muttered. "Time to show them what real hunters can do." The comm system crackled. "Admiral, engineering reports all ships are ready for jump." "But sir," the luminary sent a warning. "They say the radiation levels at the jump point might be dangerous." Stone actually laughed. "Dangerous? We grew up on a planet bathed in radiation from our own sun. Tell them we'll be fine." He pressed a button on his command chair, opening a channel to all ships. "Listen up, Reapers. You all know why we're here. Some bug-like aliens think they can hunt the peaceful folks. They've never met humans before. Never faced a species that evolved on a world where everything from the gravity to the air pressure tried to kill us." He paused, letting his words sink in. "The luminary called us Deathworlders. They're right. We come from a planet that would crush most alien species. Our bones are denser, our muscles stronger, our reflexes faster. We can survive radiation that would kill them, handle G-forces that would turn them to paste." The tactical display updated, showing the latest positions of the swarm ships near New Dawn. "But we're not just strong. We're smart. We learned to hunt on a world full of predators. Now we're going to use those skills." First Officer West looked up from her station. "Sir, all ships report jump drives ready. The Thunder, Lion, and Eagle are in formation. We can leave on your order." Stone stood up, his Earth-adapted muscles easily handling the artificial gravity. "Today, we're not just fighting for the luminary. We're showing the galaxy why humans don't just survive. We protect those who can't protect themselves." He took his command seat, checking the safety harness, a precaution most alien species found excessive. "All ships, prepare for combat jump. Set acceleration to human maximum. Let's show these bugs what happens when they pick a fight with Earth's children." The bridge crew buckled in, their bodies conditioned by evolution to handle stresses that would kill most alien species. Outside, the massive engines of the battle group glowed bright, their power contained by technology developed on a world where failure meant death. "Jump in 3, 2, 1. Space twisted around them as 4 of humanity's deadliest warships vanished into the void. They were heading toward a battle that would change the galaxy's understanding of what it meant to be a Deathworlder. In the loading bay of the HMS Apex, teams of Marines checked their combat suits. Unlike the fragile environmental suits used by other species, human combat armor was designed to enhance their already formidable physical abilities. They were preparing for the possibility of boarding actions, something the swarm had never faced before. "This is what we trained for," Stone said quietly to himself as the ships hurtled through jump space. This is why Earth made us strong. The 7th Battle Group, humanity's answer to a desperate cry for help, rushed toward New Dawn. They carried with them not just weapons and armor, but the legacy of a species that had turned surviving hell into an art form. The swarm was about to learn why you don't threaten those under human protection. The 4 human warships burst out of jump space near New Dawn, their sensors immediately scanning the battlefield. The beautiful green planet ahead was surrounded by a massive asteroid field, and within it lurked the swarm fleet, dozens of biomechanical ships that looked like giant insects. Multiple contacts, called out Jack, the sensor officer on HMS Apex, counting 30 swarm vessels using the asteroids as cover. They're targeting the colony's defense shields. Admiral Stone's eyes narrowed as he studied the tactical display. The swarm ships were hiding in the densest part of the asteroid field, a place where normal ships wouldn't dare to follow. They thought they were safe there. They were wrong. All ships, battle formation Delta, Stone ordered. They think that asteroid field will protect them. Show them what humans can do in tight spaces. The HMS Thunder took point, its heavily armored hull designed to withstand impacts that would shatter other ships. Behind it, the Lion and Eagle spread out like flanking predators. The Apex held back, its powerful sensors mapping the entire battlefield. The swarm noticed them immediately. A transmission burst across all channels, a series of clicks and screeches that the universal translator struggled to process. "They're saying we should retreat," First Officer West reported. "They're warning us about the asteroid field. They think we don't understand the danger." Stone smiled. "Send them our response. 3 words. Watch and learn." The Thunder accelerated straight into the asteroid field, performing maneuvers that seemed impossible for a ship its size. The human crew, their reflexes honed by evolution on a high-gravity world, predicted and reacted to threats faster than any automated system. "Swarm ships are moving," Jack reported. They're retreating deeper into the field. They didn't expect us to follow." Stone opened a channel to all ships. "Remember your training. This is just like the obstacle courses back home. These rocks are nothing compared to Earth's gravity wells. Hunt them down." The Lion and Eagle split off, their engines flaring as they chased the retreating swarm ships. Inside each human vessel, crews handled G-forces that would have knocked out any other species. They had trained for this, their bodies naturally adapted to handle stresses that most aliens couldn't survive. The first clash came when a swarm ship tried to ambush the Thunder. The biomechanical vessel burst from behind an asteroid, its weapons charging. But the Thunder's human gunner, operating on instincts developed over millions of years of evolution, had already fired. "Direct hit," came the report. "1 enemy ship destroyed." They're panicking, sir. Their formation is breaking up." Stone watched as the swarm's carefully planned ambush fell apart. They had never faced an enemy that could match their maneuverability in the asteroid field. They had never fought a species that could think and react as fast as they could. They had never met humans before. "The Eagle reports successful hits on 3 more enemy vessels," West announced. "The Lion has driven another group out of the asteroids. They're running." Stone leaned forward in his command chair. "Don't let them regroup. Push them back from the planet. Show them what happens when they threaten those under our protection." The battle continued for another hour, but it was already decided. Human ships danced through the asteroid field like it was their natural habitat. Human gunners made shots that seemed impossible. Human crews performed emergency repairs in seconds, their bodies able to function in conditions that would kill most species. Finally, the remaining swarm ships fled, jumping away to safety. The asteroid field, which they had thought would be their advantage, had become their trap. "Damage report," Stone ordered. "Minor hull breaches on the Thunder, already sealed. 2 crew members treated for light injuries. No major damage to any ship." West paused. "Sir, we're getting a transmission from the surface. It's the Luminary colony." Stone nodded. "Put them through." The voice of the colony governor came through, filled with awe. We watched the whole thing. You flew through the asteroids like they weren't even there." "How?" "Governor," Stone replied, "we come from a world where just walking outside could kill you. Space is dangerous, yes, but to us, this is just another day at work." As the human fleet moved to secure orbit around New Dawn, Stone knew this was just the beginning. The swarm would be back, and next time they would be ready for humans. But so would the humans be ready for them. As predicted, the swarm returned in force. This time, they brought hundreds of ships, filling the space around New Dawn with their biomechanical vessels. They had learned from their first defeat and avoided the asteroid field entirely. Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of HMS Apex, watching the enemy fleet approach. "They think numbers will save them," he said to First Officer West. "Time to show them how Earth predators hunt in packs." The 4 human ships looked tiny compared to the massive swarm fleet, but Stone knew better. On Earth, even the smallest wolf pack could bring down prey many times their size. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Wolf," Stone commanded. "Remember your training. Move like the hunters you are." The human fleet split into pairs. The Thunder and Lion charged straight at the enemy center, while the Eagle and Apex swept around the sides. It was a hunting pattern as old as Earth itself. Divide the prey, create chaos, then strike. "Sir, the swarm is responding," Jack reported from his sensor station. "They're splitting their fleet to chase both groups." Stone smiled. The swarm was copying Earth pack hunting techniques, but they didn't understand them deeply enough. They hadn't spent millions of years perfecting these tactics like Earth's predators had. "Now," Stone ordered. The Thunder and Lion suddenly broke apart, their engines flaring bright. They shot through gaps in the swarm formation that seemed impossibly small, their human crews handling G-forces that would kill most aliens. As the swarm ships turned to chase them, they exposed their flanks to the Eagle and Apex. "All guns, open fire," Stone commanded. "Show them why Earth taught us to never turn our backs on a predator." The human ships struck hard and fast. Their weapons, designed by a species that had mastered the art of warfare, tore through the swarm's bioarmor. The enemy ships tried to regroup, but the humans were too quick, too unpredictable. "Multiple hits confirmed," West reported. "Their formation is breaking up." "Wait, sir." Reading massive energy spikes from their rear line, the swarm's backup plan revealed itself. Dozens of their ships linked together, forming energy webs designed to trap and destroy the human vessels. "They think they can cage us," Stone said. "Activate the emergency thrusters. All hands, braced for maximum acceleration." The human ships did something no other species would dare. They accelerated straight toward the energy webs at speeds that would tear apart normal ships. The swarm hesitated, confused by what seemed like suicide. But humans had evolved on a world with crushing gravity. Their ships were built to handle stresses that would destroy other vessels. Their crews could endure accelerations that would turn most aliens to paste. The HMS Thunder hit the energy web first, its reinforced hull glowing red-hot. But it didn't slow down. Behind it, the Lion matched its speed perfectly, both ships moving like they shared one mind. "Energy web is failing," Jack shouted. "They didn't expect us to hit it at full speed." The Thunder and Lion burst through the web, sending ripples of destruction through the linked swarm ships. The Eagle and Apex struck from behind, their weapons finding weak points in the confused enemy formation. In the midst of battle, Stone received an urgent message from the engine room. "Admiral, hull temperature critical. Most species would evacuate, but we can handle it if you need 10 more minutes." "Give me 15, Stone replied. "We're not done teaching them why you don't threaten those under human protection." The battle raged on, but its outcome was already decided. The human ships moved like a perfectly coordinated wolf pack, herding the swarm into killing zones, striking from impossible angles, enduring punishment that would destroy other vessels. When it was over, the space around New Dawn was filled with drifting debris from swarm ships. The human fleet had taken damage, but their crews were already making repairs, working in conditions most species would consider fatal. "Send word to the colony," Stone ordered. "Tell them the threat is neutralized. And send a message to the swarm, if any of them are still listening. This is what happens when you force humans to fight. We don't just survive. We protect." From the planet below, millions of Luminary watched in awe as 4 human ships defeated an enemy fleet 20 times their size. They had called for help from Deathworlders, and humanity had delivered more than they could have imagined. The Battle of New Dawn would be remembered not just as a victory, but as the day the galaxy learned why humans were the most feared and respected protectors in known space. Just as the human fleet began celebrating their victory, every sensor on the HMS Apex started screaming alerts. A massive shape emerged from hyperspace, a swarm high ship that dwarfed everything else in the battlefield. It was as big as a small moon, its biomechanical surface crawling with smaller ships. Size comparison. Admiral Stone demanded, his voice steady despite the tension. It's 5 times bigger than anything we've ever seen, sir," Jack replied from his sensor station. "The energy readings are off the charts." First Officer West's face paled as she studied the tactical display. "Sir, that thing could destroy the entire colony with one shot. Even our shields won't stand against it." Stone watched as the massive high ship moved toward New Dawn, its weapon ports glowing with deadly energy. Behind it, hundreds of new swarm ships poured out of its hangars. The message was clear: surrender or die. But humans didn't evolve on Earth by surrendering to bigger predators. "All hands," Stone's voice rang through every ship in the human fleet. "I won't lie to you. What I'm about to ask goes against every safety protocol in the book. But down there are 3 million civilians who can't defend themselves. We're all that stands between them and extinction." He paused, looking at his crew. Each face showed the same determination he felt. On Earth, our ancestors faced creatures hundreds of times their size. They didn't have fancy weapons or shields. They had courage, intelligence, and the will to protect their own. Today, we honor their legacy. Stone opened a channel to the HMS Thunder. "Captain Rogers, remember that crazy idea we discussed during training? The one everyone said would kill us." "The spear maneuver?" Rogers replied, excitement in his voice. "They said it was suicide because no species could survive those G-forces." "No other species," Stone corrected. "But we're human. Our bodies evolved under crushing gravity. We can take it. Are you ready to make history?" "Thunder crew reports ready, sir. It's been an honor." Stone turned to his bridge crew. "Eagle and Lion, provide covering fire. Apex, prepare to support Thunder. Let's show them why humans are called Deathworlders." The HMS Thunder's engines flared impossibly bright as it accelerated to speeds that would tear apart most ships. The massive high ship fired at it, but the Thunder rolled and twisted, avoiding shots that could vaporize a small moon. Inside the Thunder, the crew endured forces that would have killed any other species instantly. Their bodies, evolved over millions of years on a high-gravity death world, held together as the ship pushed past its designed limits. "Thunder is at maximum speed," West reported. "Impact in 10 seconds." The high ship tried to turn away, finally realizing what was happening. But it was too late. The Thunder, moving faster than any ship in recorded history, struck the high ship's central nervous system like a bullet hitting flesh. The impact was spectacular. The Thunder's reinforced hull, designed by humans who knew about penetrating tough defenses, punched straight through the HFY ship's bio-armor. Emergency beacons flared as the Thunder's crew ejected in survival pods built to withstand planetary re-entry. "All ships, retrieve those pods," Stone ordered. "Eagle, Lion, target those breach points. Show them why you never leave a wounded animal with Earth predators." The remaining human ships struck hard, their weapons finding the wounds left by Thunder's sacrifice. The high ship, its central nervous system shattered, began to break apart. From the colony below, millions of Luminari watched in awe as 4 human ships defeated an enemy their entire civilization had feared. They saw the Thunder's crew being rescued, their sturdy bodies somehow alive after forces that should have killed them instantly. The remaining swarm ships fled in panic, leaving their broken high ship behind. They had finally learned what it meant to face a species that evolved on a world that tried to kill them every day. "Send word to Earth," Stone ordered quietly. "Tell them the Thunder and her crew just wrote themselves into history, and send a message to every swarm ship in the galaxy. This is what happens when you threaten those under human protection. We don't just fight. We win." The Battle of New Dawn was over, but its legend was just beginning. The space around New Dawn was filled with debris from the battle. The broken HFY ship drifted like a dead mountain, its surface still glowing from the impact of HMS Thunder's historic strike. But the human fleet wasn't celebrating yet. "Medical ships incoming," First Officer West announced on the HMS Apex's bridge. The Luminary observers watched in confusion as 5 large vessels with red cross markings emerged from hyperspace. Admiral Stone stood at his command station, his voice tired but firm. "Begin rescue operations. I want every survivor found. Human, Luminary, and yes, even swarm." The Luminary governor's voice crackled over the comm system. "Admiral Stone, we don't understand. The swarm are your enemies. They tried to kill everyone." "Governor," Stone replied gently, "on Earth, we learned something important. The true measure of strength isn't how hard you can fight, but what you do after you win." The medical ships spread out across the battlefield. Their crews, wearing heavy suits that could withstand the radiation and vacuum of space, began searching through the wreckage. They found injured swarm creatures in damaged escape pods and brought them aboard for treatment. Inside the medical ships, human doctors worked tirelessly. Their strong hands, evolved to survive on a death world, now performed delicate surgery on alien bodies. They had studied xenobiology extensively, preparing for exactly this kind of situation. "Sir," West reported, watching the rescue efforts, "the Luminary are asking permission to send observers." They can't believe what they're seeing." Stone nodded. "Let them come. Let them see that being a Deathworlder means more than just being tough." The Luminary observers arrived to find scenes that challenged everything they knew about warrior species. Human medical teams worked side by side with Luminary healers, teaching them emergency procedures that could save lives in future battles. In one medical bay, a human doctor named Mike treated a wounded swarm drone. The alien creature was terrified at first, expecting the fierce Deathworlder to harm it. Instead, Mike spoke softly and moved with gentle precision, showing that hands strong enough to break bones could also heal them. "Admiral," the Luminary governor's voice was filled with wonder, "we thought you would celebrate your victory with displays of power as other warrior races do. Instead, you bring healing ships." Stone smiled, remembering his own grandmother who had been a doctor. "Governor, humans learned medicine because our world was dangerous. We had to know how to fix what was broken. Over time, we realized something. Being strong enough to fight means you're also strong enough to help." The rescue operation continued for days. Human crews worked in shifts, their bodies able to handle the physical strain that would exhaust other species. They repaired what they could of the colony's defenses and helped the Luminary improve their medical facilities. The captured swarm drones, treated with respect and care, revealed surprising information. They had attacked because they thought the Luminary were weak and would be easy prey. The concept of a strong species protecting a weaker one was foreign to them. "You could have destroyed us," one drone said to Stone through a translator. "Instead, you saved many of us." "Why?" "Because that's what humans do," Stone replied. "We fight hard when we must, but we heal when we can. On Earth, the strongest animals aren't always the ones that survive. It's the ones that learn to work together. The luminary leadership sent a message to the Galactic Council. It wasn't just about the battle. It was about what happened after. They described how the feared Deathworlders had proved to be not just mighty warriors, but compassionate healers. As Stone watched the medical ships work, he remembered something his grandmother used to say. Having the strength to break doesn't mean you have to break things. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is help others heal. The galaxy was learning an important lesson about humanity. Yes, they were Deathworlders. Yes, they were incredibly strong and resilient. But their greatest strength wasn't in their ability to fight. It was in their choice to help, heal, and protect. That was humanity's true nature, forged in the crucible of Earth's challenges. The power to be both warriors and healers, protectors and builders, strong yet gentle when needed. 1 month after the Battle of New Dawn, the Great Hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with excitement. Representatives from 100 species gathered to discuss the events that had changed their understanding of Deathworlders forever. Admiral Stone stood before the council, his Earth-adapted body standing straight and proud. Beside him, the luminary ambassador Lightbearer glowed with bright, happy colors. On his other side stood a reformed swarm leader, its presence causing quite a stir among the council members. The council leader, a tall being from a low-gravity world, spoke first. "We have reviewed the events at New Dawn. Never in our history have we seen anything like it. 4 ships against hundreds, a suicide run that should have been impossible. And then, mercy to the defeated." Lightbearer floated forward. "The humans didn't just save our colony. They showed us a new way. Their medical knowledge, born from surviving their deadly world, has already saved thousands of lives across our systems." The swarm leader clicked its mandibles, its translator converting the sounds to words. "We attacked because we thought peaceful meant weak. The humans taught us that true strength lies in protecting others. Many of my kind now train as medical workers, thanks to human teachers." Admiral Stone looked around the Grand Chamber. "Members of the Council, you call Earth a death world. You're right. Our gravity could crush you. Our predators could eat you. Our weather could kill you. But surviving these challenges didn't just make us strong. It made us understand something important." He paused, remembering the Battle of New Dawn. "We learned that being strong means you have a duty to protect others. Being tough means you can take risks to save lives. Having power means you can choose mercy." The council leader raised all 4 hands for silence. "Admiral Stone, the council has made its decision. Humanity is hereby granted a permanent seat on the Galactic Council, not because of your victory in battle, but because of what you did after." The chamber erupted in applause, a rare show of emotion from the usually formal council. Stone noticed many species using gestures they had learned from humans, another small sign of changing times. Back on New Dawn, the changes were even more visible. Human engineers worked alongside luminary builders, teaching them how to construct stronger defenses. Former swarm warriors trained with human medics, learning to heal rather than hurt. The colony had become a symbol of cooperation between species. In orbit, the HMS Thunder, fully repaired, patrolled with its sister ships. But they weren't alone anymore. Ships from other species now joined them, learning human tactics and sharing their own knowledge. The Reapers had become teachers, as well as protectors. "You've started something remarkable," Lightbearer said to Stone after the council session. "Other species used to fear Deathworlders. Now they want to learn from you." Stone smiled, watching a group of young aliens practicing emergency procedures under the guidance of human instructors. Fear never helped anyone survive. On Earth, even the strongest animals need help sometimes. We just shared what our world taught us. The swarm leader approached them, its once fearsome appearance now somehow less threatening. "My species always thought evolution on a death world made you only warriors. We were wrong. It made you complete. Strong enough to fight, wise enough to heal, brave enough to protect." As if to prove the point, alarms suddenly rang through the council station. A ship had suffered a critical system failure nearby. Without hesitation, human emergency teams rushed to help, their bodies able to handle the dangerous conditions. Working alongside them were luminary technical experts and former swarm warriors, all using skills they had learned from their human teachers. That, Stone said proudly, is humanity's true legacy. Not that we're tough enough to survive a death world, but that we can teach others to be strong in their own ways. The galaxy was changing. Species that once feared or hated each other now worked together. The words Deathworlder were no longer whispered in fear, but spoken with respect and gratitude. Humanity had delivered more than just military aid when the luminary called for help. They had delivered hope, wisdom, and a new understanding of what it meant to be truly strong. And that was a legacy that would last for generations to come.